What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 140 of Park to Prem here with Town or Town. Today is the second upload of the day, so if you missed the FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool, you've been warned. Please go watch it. Today we've got two more matches in this episode, and the first of these is perhaps the biggest game of the season so far. It's against Manchester City, away from home, in the Champions League. Yes, it's getting towards that crunch time of the year. Today we have Man City away, and then if we just have a look at the scheduling, we are going to be playing Liverpool away again today. Then tomorrow, triple header, United, City, and I don't know how the season's going to end. We'll figure it out as we go along. It's been a crazy season. It feels like the quadruple is possible, albeit very, very difficult. Ultimately, we've just got to try and keep grinding out results. And since you were last here, we did grind out one such result. It was against Southampton at home. I gambled in this game, and I gambled on the fact that the kids were going to be able to do it. We completely rotated the team. I needed to give players a rest ahead of the next kind of week of football, where we have games on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Saturday. And luckily for me, they came good. Kevin Deacon with the first, and then Roger McCassie with a lovely strike just inside the 18-yard box into the top corner, ensured that we got all 3 points. So whilst the Champions League and the first leg of the semi-final is going to be the main focus of today's episode, it is worth just acknowledging how the league is shaping up. You can see we have 5 games remaining. We have 2 games in hand on Manchester City. We currently trail them by 4 points. And as you can see by both teams' recent forms, whilst ourselves and Man City haven't lost recently, we are both making quite a habit of drawing as of late. So we need to try and stop doing that when we play Liverpool later. But I feel like right now we've just got to take things one game at a time. You know, we can't think too far ahead, especially with this upcoming run of games. What a crazy week of football this is going to be. And this first match is really where the challenge begins, I suppose. Now, the good news is, as I mentioned, we played a rotated 11 against Southampton. It means that going into today's game, I can play a full-strength team. And it's a full-strength team where, for the most part, everyone is coming in with really, really good conditioning, which is important. It's going to be tricky, and I do worry that the longer this compact run of games goes on, the more we are going to struggle, especially because, you know, we are head-to-head against Manchester City, who have played 2 more games than us in the league. And so when you compare our schedule, which is here, and then Manchester City's schedule, which is here, I mean, we play them 3 times in their last 5 games of the year. Meanwhile, for us, we've got, you know, a ton of extra games to be thinking about. It's going to make things tricky to compete on all fronts, but I feel like at this point now, we're in the Champions League semi-final. I feel like that almost has to take focus over the Premier League. I feel like we are better poised now to compete in the Champions League than in the Premier League, where we've got a lot more games to play than Manchester City, and we also know that we pretty much have to win every single one in order to do well, and we have Liverpool, we have United, and we have Man City themselves still to play. So anyway, going into today's game, this is the team that we will be playing for this opening fixture. It is a full-strength team. It's great to have. Unfortunately, on the bench, you can see Volta and Norman coming back from injuries. They're not quite ready. Norman probably could play, and actually, you know what, I will have him on the bench. But ultimately, we are just struggling a little bit. I do actually feel like, in hindsight, one of the worst mistakes I made this year was loaning out Useless. Because as much as I joke about him being useless, and as much as he has developed playing for Saint Etienne in Ligue 1, we are a little short on centre mids, especially with Volta out injured. You know, we have McCassie, who can definitely do a job for us. We, of course, have, you can see here, Kaiser as well. But a player who has been frequently appearing on the bench and probably isn't good enough to be on the bench, really, is Son Jung-woo, who, don't get me wrong, at 20 years old, he's a very solid player, more than adequate backup. I don't feel like he's going to ever break into the first team, unfortunately. Age 20, his development's been a little bit slow. But he's not really a good enough backup quality player. He's certainly not a player I would want to have to be throwing into the first team. But today, he's on the bench. If we get desperate, who knows, maybe he will make an appearance for us. But anyway, enough delaying, enough procrastinating. Let's get into game 1 of this second episode of the day. We're taking on Man City. We are going to be playing away from home here. Their team is quite good. They've got MBAPPE out on the right. His contract has had a year extension signed. He's decent. Out on the left, they've got Vinicius Jr. Might be familiar with him. You know, whilst these players are a little older, they're also very experienced and very, very good still. They've, of course, got Mike Frost, their star man, up top. It's not fair. It's not. Whenever I look at this guy's profile, I'm reminded the world is not a fair place. In the midfield, they've got players like Karabali as well, who is a top-quality playmaker, albeit inconsistent. He's absolutely insane. 19 passing, 19 technique, 20 vision, 19 agility, 90... He's good. He's good. And, of course, they've got a few other players you might recognise, like Camavinga, who, I'll be honest, isn't as good as I was expecting him to be before I clicked on his profile. But ultimately, this is a Manchester City team that 2 years ago won a treble. And whilst last year they weren't quite at the races, this year in the league, they have obviously been our main rivals. And when you look across their squad, you would probably say that on paper they edge it. Now, unfortunately, or rather fortunately, depending on how you want to look at things here, we are having one of the infamous towel or kit clashes. So as a result, we will be playing in 2D for this game. Yes, 2D fans rejoice. I mean, maybe 2D can give us some luck. You can see we're going to be playing primarily in our red kit. We will have 3D replays on. I did see a poll on Twitter recently about 2D versus 3D, and it was about 50-50. Let me know in the comments, are you Team 2D or Team 3D? Anyway, Shvetsov, please finish that. Andre, oh, that was a good chance. The first opportunity, really, of the game. Early on, Manchester City dominating possession, as you would almost expect. To be honest, for us, just, you know, keeping ourselves in this fixture after the first leg away from home is probably all we can really hope for. Let's stay strong at the back. If we could hit them on the break, fantastic. But it's not going to be easy. They're very good. And, well, after 40 minutes, I have to be relatively happy. They've not had a highlight that we've seen. We've had the only highlight of the half. It's not been a classic by any means. But we're remaining competitive. We're keeping them in it. And Morrigan, 5 shots saved. He's doing the business for us. So you can see, just looking across the average ratings, just a half where no one's really turned up for us. There is part of me that is very tempted to say, screw it, let's go on the front foot, let's go and attack. But I do fear that with their quality, they will just punish us on the breakaway. Anyway, a set piece for us just inside our own half. It's a free kick in the deep areas. We're going to knock the ball around quite nicely here. Maticevic to Leskinen. Lovely build-up play here. Can we have a bit of quality? Can we have a passage of play here that leads to something beautiful? You can see here Morrigan spreading the ball to Rote. Now with Auger. Back wide to Rote. What can he do? He dinks it through to Shvetsov. Latch onto. Can he score this? Golden opportunity. And Andrei Shvetsov cannot beat the keeper in the 1v1. Of all the players in our team, you would say he is the man you want that chance to fall to. Unfortunately, it's not worked out. We have still got a corner, and Auger, well, he managed to get a glancing header to it, but Bergerson in goal for them holds on to it. They've made a double change. I feel pressured to make some changes of my own. In the midfield, we've not been very good today. Unfortunately, the midfield is where we don't really have plan Bs. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to move Leskinen. I'm going to take off Andy Eric because he's on a booking, and we're going to bring in Kaiser, who is a very good deep line playmaker. Maticevic and Andre haven't had the best of games, but I'm going to keep faith in Andre. We're going to move him to centre mid on attack, and we're going to bring in McCassie to play left centre mid. Obviously, he's quite good defensively as McCassie. We need some fresh legs in that area. I'm going to persist with Andre. I'm going to keep some faith in him that he is going to be a difference maker in this last 20 minutes. Of course, a player subject to a £157 million bid from Manchester City. This is the kind of game where you'll look back on it and go, well, the ball didn't cross the line there, did it? Thank you, Football Manager. Goal line technology, everyone. But no, this is the kind of game that... Imagine if we'd sold Andre in this game. Imagine the quality he would have added to their team. This is the kind of game where I want him to show us what, or show them what they've missed out on. I'm just thinking here. I've paused the game. I'm having a think. And I'm thinking maybe I go on the attack for the last 7 minutes, because an away goal would be pretty huge. An away goal, I don't want to say it's almost necessary, but I do feel like it's something that would help us on our merry way. It's just a case of how I want to go about doing it. I'm going to move Leskinen back, and I'm going to move Kaiser into the advanced playmaker. I've got one last sub. Shvetsov has had chances but hasn't taken them. I'm going to shuffle things here. I'm actually going to bring on Steve Norman, who he passed a fitness test to pace 75 minutes, but I didn't want to risk him. But with 7 minutes left, I feel like his pace on the break might help us a little. So we're going to bring him on despite his injury. He's going to play advanced forward. He's going to play alongside Shvetsov, who hasn't been particularly clinical today. And we're going to play on the front foot for the last 5 minutes and hope it doesn't kind of completely let us down. And I'm a little bit scared because Andre is being pulled off the pitch. Let's hope that he can come back on. Equally, there is a highlight here with 2 minutes left, which should probably be my primary concern as Vinicius Jr. comes forward. Morrigan hits it onto the woodwork and Nico just says, absolutely not. Boots it into the stadium. We've now got a corner to defend. We are down a man here. Ball whipped in. McCassie heads it clear. Morrigan, what a save that was, by the way, to tip that effort onto the post. That can't go understated, but the danger might not be over yet. The ball whipped in. Vinicius Jr. lurking at the back post, and we are down a man due to Andre being taken off the pitch. We've gone more positive, and with the first and only real clear-cut chance of the game after a superb 89 minutes, unfortunately for us, Marcos Antonio's ball across the 6-yard box finds Vinicius at the back post. And he scores to make it 1-0. And there's 5 minutes of added time. We're going to stay on the attacking system here. We might get one last chance. Mateus Heredia launching a throw forward to Andre. He hits it into the top corner. Oh my word. He was off the pitch being petted by the physio. We rejected an £157 million bid for him. And with a minute left of this game, he has unleashed something special. Wow. Wow. Only his 5th goal of the year. What a time to score it. There is 2 minutes of added time, over added time. Norman, Shvetsov, can he finish it? It's pinging around in the box, but Man City will get a free kick. And some explosive action to end this game. We played an extra 2.5 minutes at the end there. There was one last chance. We couldn't take it. But we are rewarded for our boldness in playing on attacking. We get that away goal. Andre, thank you for not being seriously injured. Thank you for coming back onto the pitch. And thank you for rewarding my faith in not selling you. We were not expected to win that. That really can't be understated. We are massive underdogs against Man City. We have a fraction of their budget. So to get a 1-1 there sets us up very, very nicely for the return leg, which of course is coming tomorrow. You can see Andre now out for 5 to 7 days. That is unfortunate because it means he will miss the Liverpool game. He will miss the Manchester United game as well. But he's rescued us a draw, and that's probably worth having kept him on the pitch despite his knock. I mean, we didn't have a sub to make anyway, so it was a case of throwing him on. He gets man of the match. He gives them a taster of what they've missed out on. And, well, hopefully that is going to give us just a little bit of momentum going into the next couple of games. I do now need to immediately rest the players. You are all getting a rest of, well, a few days. Aurelio is already set to be resting because he was tired already. So we need to recall him, then select everyone, go on a rest for 5 days. You're not coming into training. We've got 2 games in the next 4 days. Enjoy the break, turn up for the matches, keep your conditioning good. We have trophies and titles to fight for, and I need you ready for them. And well, with that in mind, we're going to jump forward. We've got Liverpool at Anfield. Don't go anywhere. I'm not sure it can top the finale of that last game, but we will give it our best shot. So here we are, we're back at Anfield. It doesn't feel that long since we were last here, and well, that's because it wasn't long since we were last here. In fact, we were here, you can see, less than 2 weeks ago. It's a lovely Thursday evening. It's not really the ideal time to be playing a football match when you've played on a Tuesday, but we just have to try and make do, and that's kind of, I think, going to be the motto to end this season. I've seen a lot of people discussing in the comments, Jack, if you win everything this year, are you just ending the series? Absolutely blooming not. I want to win the World Club Championship. I want to turn Tower Town into a dynasty, and I really want to try and, develop a stadium, develop a winning culture and a legacy here at the club. With that kind of happening, I feel like as perhaps we get more familiar with reaching Cup semi-finals, Champions League knockout rounds, the seasons will be shorter in terms of number of episodes. But I feel like when we're in the uncharted territory we're in right now, where we are competing in every single competition, I want to bring you every single big and significant game. It feels like it's all part of the adventure, it's all part of the journey. And, well, we're just going to try and keep that journey going today, I suppose. So, let's get into this game. I am barely recovered from the previous game, and, well, Andre is not recovered from the previous game, unfortunately, so we are going to have to bring in Roger McCassie. And you know what? To play Liverpool away, I think we may even start on attacking today. I'm feeling aggressive. I'm feeling angry. I want to take the fight to them. We're going to have Highland on the bench for us as well, with Andre being out injured. Unfortunately, very unlikely he will be fit for the opening game and next episode against Manchester United. So, well, we're going to have to see how we get on, I suppose. You can see here, this is the team that we have. People have recovered fairly well considering we played just 2 days ago. Let's see if we can channel a little bit of that fighting spirit we saw last time out. Of course, in the Premier League, we need to win every game to have the best chance of winning the title. We maybe could afford to slip up once, but that's not really the mentality I can take. We just need to go out there and just compete and fight in every single game. And despite the great position we find ourselves in, I think back to, I think it was Bayer Leverkusen in 2002, I want to say, and a few people have tweeted me about this and reminded me that this was a thing. Bayer Leverkusen in 2002, Smolio makes a save for them, a huge save, although it was offside. But, sorry, going back to Leverkusen, while there's a chance going on, they lost 3 cup finals or 3 chances of silverware in 11 days. I believe they lost on the final game of the season. They then lost in kind of the German Cup, and then they also lost in a European Cup final. So, for how well we're doing to get to the positions that we're in, nothing is guaranteed. And we have to be at our best each and every game, and I'm really hoping that Smolio is not going to have some incredible game in goal for them, because early on in this game we've had 2 chances and he's been the man to stop us both times. You look across their team, they've got Lazarus playing centre mid, they've got Smolio playing in goal. I want to call them Towel or Town rejects. I guess you can make that argument for Lazarus being a reject, but Smolio, not really. We just needed the money and cashed in on him, didn't we? Just feel like this game is following in the pattern of the last Man City game. There's not been a whole host of chances early on here. Maybe just one last one to end the half. As we give away the ball, Leskinen, what are you doing? Morrigan, not the most conventional of saves, but he's managed to turn it wide. Jarno looking a little bit tired out there. Apparently Rott has made a lot of mistakes as well. I mean, that's what you want to see in these big games, isn't it? Your assistant just telling you about all the errors that all your players are making. Anyway, Liverpool, I think the chance has gone for them really, although Piggott's still in a semi-dangerous area. Unfortunately, that dangerous area was also an offside area. So the linesman's going to halt play there. And at half-time, it's 0-0. And we've not done anything in this game. We have done absolutely bugger all. I'm very tempted to switch to a counter-attacking system here, because we're not creating any chances and we're not really dominating the ball like we would normally aim to do with our regular system. And if we're not going to have a lot of the ball, and if we're not going to create a lot, I would rather try and invite pressure on from Liverpool a little bit more and hit them on the break. So I'm going to make a bit of a weird change here. Despite the fact that we are, needing to win this game, I'm going to go to the counter-attacking system from the more attacking system and see how it suits us. We're weathering a storm here. We've played now another 20 minutes already. No highlights have happened. We've just whizzed through the half. It's not really made a difference. We've not even had a shot since we changed our system. So I'm going to make some changes here, I think. Leskinen's not been great, but then you could probably apply that to half of our team. McCassie and Matasevic not good enough in the team. I'm going to take off McCassie and bring in Kaiser. We'll bring him into deep line playmaker and move Leskinen forward. And this is the issue I've got with my lack of centre mid options, particularly with the injuries to Volta. I wonder if Volta could have played, actually. I didn't check that. I think he would have been struggling for fitness anyway. We don't have Volta. We don't have Andre. Matasevic has not played well. I'm going to make a weird change here, but it's a change that I think has some logic. Bubalo, you've not scored for us yet, mate. You're naturally a striker, but I think that you can do a job as an advanced playmaker, and you're going to get a chance to show the world that you can be an advanced playmaker in this game. This is a ridiculous risk, but we've got to try something out of the ordinary, I feel like. A set piece to deal with here. It's whipped in. Soretta heads it half clear to Taylor, who hits it on the volley. Kenneth Taylor, a real player at this late in the save game, who I'm not that familiar with. I want to check him out. He's a Dutch player. Apparently he starts at Ajax. I'd be curious to know if any Dutch football fans are familiar with him. Oh, that's very, very unfortunate. A set piece that we just didn't quite deal with. I've got to shout demand more. We've got to get shouty. Morrigan, I don't think, can take much of the blame there. It was a tidy little finish, and having beaten Liverpool just a matter of days ago, it does feel like in this game we've just not turned up in the same way. Is the fatigue starting to settle in? Is it a bit of tiredness creeping into our game? Artigas with the ball here in the wide areas. He cuts inside, he places it. That is an error by Morrigan. It's 2-0. It's his first goal of the year for Artigas, and I don't want to throw Morrigan into the bus because he has been so good, but he probably could do better there. It doesn't really make a difference in this game because I just noticed Lazarus got the assist as well. Of course he blooming did, but ultimately we've had one shot on target in this game. We have just not turned up at all. And I know some people are going to point to the system. I think we showed with the system when we played them in the FA Cup final. It's good against this Liverpool team. It can work wonders against them. They're playing the same formation again today as they were previously. This is entirely on individuals not showing up. Though Bubalo tries to squirm through. Andy Eric hits it. I mean, is there hope yet? Bubalo the sub with the assist. 15 minutes left. We need another goal, folks. Andy Eric with a moment of quality for his 14th of the year. Of course, he got a hat-trick in that Carabao Cup final. A draw doesn't help us massively, but it would open up an opportunity. A door for us to maybe walk through towards a title win. But we need more here. We need another goal. There's a highlight starting. I don't know why the game just brought up the menus. They've hit the woodwork. 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left. I do still have one last sub in my back pocket. And you know what? Shvetsov has not been good enough today. Norman, come onto the pitch. We are going to keep Turnbull on. One last shout of demand more. One last change to very attacking. There are minutes left. We are gambling. We are throwing men forward. And nothing is going to happen. One of those games. It finishes 2-1 to Liverpool. Morrigan did hold on to 6 saves. He did his business. But a slip-up like that against the team in 5th is ultimately, potentially going to be the difference between the Championship and 2nd. It is perhaps worth noting at this point, if we win our game in hand, which is against Manchester United in 2 days' time, and then we can beat Man City, we would still leapfrog them. So as much as this result isn't ideal, the situation remains the same, whereby if we win all our remaining games, we are still guaranteed the Premier League. But this is a setback, make absolutely no mistake. And that's frustrating. Lazarus gets one over on us. Andy Eric was given man of the match. What was Volta's fitness like? I don't think he was very good. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I checked, but I had checked. He just isn't quite there, which does leave us light on centre mid. You can see here, the team are a little bit tired. We've got a game in 2 days' time. In 2 days' time, we are off to Old Trafford. In fact, the players don't even get 48 hours rest. And that is where we are going to pick things up for tomorrow's video. Next episode will be probably nicknamed Raining Man or Raining Men or something. It probably has to be Raining Man, like the song. Manchester United, Manchester City, Manchester City. We could be familiar with people from Manchester, aren't we, by the end of this this weekend of games? It's absolutely crazy. So we're looking ahead to those. That Champions League result in the first leg was a good result. 1-1 would have been nice to win, but I'm not going to complain too much. The defeat against Liverpool is disappointing, but ultimately they are a very strong team. With that result, they are now up to 4th. You can see they are only 4 points behind us, so they're not far away from us at all, which makes the defeat even more disappointing, really. You can see here, Morrigan, 18 clean sheets for the season. Manchester City, 22 clean sheets in 35 games. We are going to have to find a way to break them down next episode. They've lost 2 league games all year. The more you look at it, the harder it looks. So let's just... that sounds so wrong. Let's just not look at the scheduling. Let's just not look at the league table. That is tomorrow's problem to worry about. I hope you've enjoyed the second episode of today. If you have enjoyed this, do drop a like on it. Let me know, what do you think we're going to come away with this year? Can we win the FA Cup? Can we reach the Champions League final? Can we win the Premier League? All 3 of those still on the line. I feel like it's going to be so difficult. Tomorrow is even harder than today. If we can come through those matches, suddenly Brighton and Bournemouth doesn't look as tricky. But if there's one thing we've learnt this season, there is no such thing as an easy game in the Premier League. And that will ring true, I feel like, throughout the rest of this season. But anyway, folks, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Thank you so much for your support as always. I will see you tomorrow. Huge matches continuing to come your way. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.